try adding a little more of it?
See it?
Dad, can I maybe try on
Do it again. See that? Okay, stop.
What happened when I pushed that key?
Okay, try it
Dad?
again. Okay, now stop. Draw a picture of that, Cash.
Dad, can I maybe
sure
try
how
on
to-
light from the
Hey, if you spill again, you're gonna be done.
It's like you're yelling like.
Draw a picture of it, guys. Draw a picture of what you're seeing.
Dad, can I maybe try a with
You don't need one. You don't need one. All right, hey, make sure you observe both sides of yours, your soft versus loud and your low versus high, or whichever one you're doing. I'm gonna give you about 2 more minutes to make your observations, and then you'll focus on your drawing.
Dad, can you hold it in place again?
Yep. Not really doing much, is it? Try it again. So one of the things, like with this investigation, so they're doing it as individuals right now, but this is a good example of when cooperative groups is necessary, because what I'd want to do is I'd want to have one kid kind of monitoring the bowl, and one kid working with the device, and so I would do this in pairs for sure, but I wouldn't do it in threes, because if there's 3 kids, one kid's gonna not be doing anything, and that kid's gonna get off task, right? So like I'd probably do this in pairs. Especially for first grade, right? The fourth graders monitoring both just fine. The first graders are struggling.
The what? The fifth graders.
You're just having trouble paying attention to both. That's all. Oh, that's interesting. How's that compare to these two?
Well, I need to check them out again.
Okay, I'll help you. Let's do it let's do it kind of fast though. Okay, do a low one.
Okay.
Try a different low one. Okay, that's not helping. Yeah, it's not really doing anything. So now let's do a high one. It's not really doing anything. Okay, so how are you going to draw that? Alright, done with the iPads. Draw your pictures.
I need to go do something.
You got one chance. Okay. Alright, done with the iPads, draw your pictures.
I'm already done with mine.
Okay. Maybe you can make it a little bit more detailed.
And I mean, I'm not very much waves, and this is a lot of waves. Because it was like so much.
Hey, Dr. Cruz,
Yep.
could we see one of their drawings from the first investigation with the saw?
Yeah, and I'll take pictures of all of them and send it to you.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Is that Maples?
That is Mabel's, yep.
Nice job.
Wow. Good job.
I don't know if you can see that. That one's kind of lighter.
Is that Lincoln's or Cash?
That's Lincoln's.
Nice,
And
Lincoln.
that's Cash.
There's another side on Lincoln.
Yep, that's fine.
Wow,
You work on your drawing
nice
for this.
job, my friend.
And for the most part, like, those drawings don't really matter, right? Like, that's not those drawings kind of go beyond the standard, right? Like, we've already established kind of what the standard is, and I'll give them that assessment that you have, like, I have that prepared and stuff like that. But it's neat to see how they think through things and how they notice things. but really, like, what they put on there is whatever. You know, like it's part of the investigation piece, but it's not necessarily part of the assessing the content piece.
Right. Yeah.
Are you done?
Mhm.
Let me see what you got.
So
Oh, what
this
does that
is
mean?
the body and the soft.
Okay.
The soft
This
is
one
really
just feel a
light up.
lot.
Say it again, mate.
Soft is really light up.
Okay.
This one spell a lot.
What is?
A-L-O-T.
That's
Yep.
like
It's 2 words though.
light.
A,
These
lot.
are kind of like the
A and lot.
that's the this these like loops are the water.
Oh, cool.
Just so like it doesn't.
That's awesome. You have 1 minute. Finish up. And you gotta do your other side still, buddy. So maybe switch. Cassie, what did you say? Or what did you notice?
Well,
Medium moves a lot. Oh, okay. Nice use of your words, bud. Mabel, why don't you write a sentence for each one, like loud, that kind of explains each.
and high. Oh, and.
Oh, okay. Good job.
And.
Nope. Finish it. Oh. Are you done then?
I'm done.
Awesome. Okay, so I'll take the papers. So now we're gonna do one last investigation. And actually, before we start this one last investigation, why do you think scientists do multiple investigations when they're studying things like vibration? Why would a scientist do more than one investigation when they're studying vibration? I'm gonna ask it again. Why would scientists do more than one investigation when they're studying something? Cash?
To see what idea works way more.
Okay, what do you mean? Like, how would doing more than one investigation help them know which idea works better? Mabel?
They can
Like
Oh, hold on. Mabel, go ahead.
they use different objects to see which one like moves more.
Okay. Cash?
Well,
That's all right. Lincoln?
That way they know what happens with other things. Like for the water, instead of sand flying, sometimes the water flew up into the air
Oh,
and
okay.
it like made waves sometimes.
Cash, go ahead.
well, they have to compare them to see which one works more. They have to compare them at the same time.
Okay. All right, I think I'm going to put the table together, so careful. All right, so now in front of you, you have some water. We're going to drop things into the water.
Ooh.
Now, we know that when we drop things into water, it makes a sound. But what I want you to investigate, you've got different objects. I want you to think about how these different objects make different sounds when we drop them into the water. And so Mabel and Cash, you two are going to work together on this one. Lincoln, you're going to work by yourself on that one. And what part of the water do you think we should be watching to see differences?
The surface.
Yeah.
Okay, why?
And maybe the bottom because bubbles may come up.
Yep.
Mostly the surface because there will be probably a splash. We can see the height.
Okay. What do you think, like something that makes a loud sound, what do you think the surface will look like?
Like
Mabel, go ahead.
it will kind of like explode.
Oh, okay. What about something that makes a really soft sound?
It'll just go like.
Oh. Okay, so now you guys have made some predictions. Why do you think scientists make predictions? Cassie?
Well, like the weather, to see if they're right.
Okay. How does making a prediction help you know if you're right? Lincoln?
Because if you make the prediction, when you drop it, you can see if it's actually true. And I know another name, hypothesis.
Hypothesis. Yeah, that's a kind of a fancy word for that. So, now, remember,